Hi guys, this is your page 7 paint activity practice problem from your DIY unit. Okay, so just a pre-warning, this is a lot, so we're going to work through it. There are going to be some times that I leave a couple blanks just to make sure when you turn it in, you did it on your own, that type of thing. And it is worth more than just a 3-point homework assignment, so you do need to take your time. I am going to be grading it if you did it right or wrong, that type of thing. But we'll work through a lot of it right here and now. So we're going to be working on painting our home office. The dimensions are approximately 12 feet, 6 inches, and 10 feet, 9 inches. Okay. So this is your length. That's my L. This is your width. And we have 8-foot ceilings, which is our height. All right. There's one door, approximately about 20 square feet. One window that is about 15 square feet. All right, so let's look at how we're going to write all of these different numbers down. So we have our 12 feet 6 inches. You're not just going to put in your calculator 12.6 because that is wrong. You will get it wrong. How we write that is this is 12 feet. That's one tick mark. And now then we have to do inches. How many inches are in a foot? I know we wrote this down in your notes earlier in the packet, but just a friendly reminder, right? 12 inches equals 1 foot. So that means we are going to put this 6 over 12 inches. Okay, so that is what your 12 6 is. All right. Now, just so you know, that also is 12.5. Now our 10 9. Okay, so our 10 feet 9 inches is 10 feet. And again, 9 over 12, which if you go 9 divided by 12 in your calculator, you will get 0.75. So it is 10.75. And guys, just what? 8 is just written as 8, okay? Because there's no inches involved in that. So we have those. Remember, this is our length. That is our width. Okay. Now determine, next part right here, determine the total square footage of the walls you will be painting. Label and sketch below. So we have our dimension. This is kind of our breakdown of our little office right here, okay? So our height, let's start with that. Height is up and down. So that right there, maybe that's better. 8 feet, okay? 8 feet tall ceilings. Now we need to deal with our length, which is our 12, okay? The length of the room is this one, okay? So I'm going to put it how we're going to put it in our calculator, 12 feet. Okay. And then our last one, our width, is the 10. All right, so we have everything labeled, okay? Now there will be a door, so we could add that in. Just sketch a little, rectangular door. Okay, your door, one door that is approximately 20. Okay, so 20. And then we have one window, approximately 15 square feet. Doesn't matter where you put your window. It's just where I put mine. 15, okay? So that's your sketch. With this, we did step 1. Okay, good. So I step 2, calculate the areas. Ooh, how to find area? That's old school there, guys. Area is length times width. Okay, so we need to calculate the areas for your front and back walls. Okay. I actually am going to misspeak on this. I'm not going to do length and width. We'll come back to that. Sorry. We're going to go front wall, back walls. Okay. So if I want to get the area of this right here, right there. I'm going to use this, obviously, my 12, right? So I'm going to use my 12 feet, 6/12 of an inch. But that has nothing to do with our 10. It's this, and I'll use another color. This. What is that? That is your height, which is 8. So we're going to multiply that by your 8 feet. Okay. So this is 12 feet wide type of thing, or long by tall. Now if we plug that in our calculator, I'm going to go 12. Very important is that you use your ABC button. ABC, it is 6/12, 6, ABC 12 times 8. 100. Also very important, that is feet squared. And guys, just so you know, that is only the front wall. We only did that front one. So we did the front one. Now we need to get the back one. Guess what? It's going to be the same measurements. Times by 2, 4. I'll just label 2 walls. And 100 times 2, 200 feet squared. Okay. All right, so that's our front and back. All right, let's work on we got that one. Let's get our right and left. Okay. Same as before. We're going to do our wide, or how wide it is to the 10 feet and 9/12 times how tall it is. Same thing right here. You're 8 feet. And let's plug that into your calculator. ABC, 10 ABC, 9 ABC, 12 times 8. 86 feet squared. Again, that is only one wall. We're going to multiply that by 2 for 2 walls. Is 172 feet squared. Okay. So we have our right and our left walls. Now let's add up what those are. So we're going to add up the 2 big numbers, or 2 areas so far, which is going to be 200 and 172. Okay. So we're going to take those. We're going to go 200 plus 172. That's your feet squared. Feet squared. Okay. Oh, that looks like 12. So sorry. We'll go feet squared. That's much better. Okay. Let's add those up. 200 plus 172. 372 feet squared. Now, something we have not talked about yet really is we need to subtract the window and door areas. So we have those labeled, 15 and 20. So from here, we're going to go minus 15, which is your window, minus your 20, which is your door. And let's do that in numbers, math. 372 minus 15 minus 20, 337 feet squared total. That is your total answer for number 1. Make sure you have all that stuff written down, okay? Now, moving on to number 2. What is the area of the ceiling? Area of the ceiling. Now, your ceiling we don't really care how high or tall it is. I'm talking right up here, right there. Okay, so that is going to be your length and your width. So let's draw that out. The top of our ceiling. Ooh, sorry, that is a very bad square. Okay, our length. Well, let's do the 12.5. It's the same thing, just using, something a little bit different right here, showing you something different compared to the width, which will be our 10.75. And let's do that math. $10.75 times 12.5. Make sure you write down the whole thing. 134.375. Now, we can round this, okay? The 5 would jump your 7 up to an 8, which means it would jump your 3 up to a 4, okay? Which we can just round about, guys. This is close enough too, okay? 135 feet squared for your ceiling. Here I'll put total for walls. Okay. Okay, so that's how much paint we need right here. Boom and boom. All right, let's look at here at number 2. All right, a paint manufacturer recommends that 1 gallon of paint will cover 350 square feet, and 1 quart will cover 90 square feet. You plan to apply 2 coats to the walls. Very important, bolded for a reason. That means it is answer number 1 that we're looking at, okay? Number 1, which was our 337 feet squared. Okay, what we're looking for is what is the cheapest way to buy paint in gallon amounts or a combination of quarts and gallons, and how many are needed. So let's do that math. So first things first is we only have the numbers. This is for 1 coat of paint, and we're going to do 2. Okay, so we're going to go 337, and that's feet squared, times 2 coats. Okay, that's going to get you 674 feet squared needed total. Okay, now we need to figure out what is that in gallons or quarts. What do we need to buy? Okay, so let's look. That's pretty big, and it's only 350 for 1 gallon. In my head, how this makes sense, there's a couple different ways you could do this, but this way, how I'm going to do it here is we're going to subtract some things, okay? So we're going to take our 674, okay, so that's our feet squared, minus 1 gallon of paint, 350 feet squared, okay? That's 1 gallon. Okay, that's, what do we have left over when we do that? 325. So that's feet squared still needed. Okay, this 1 gallon, this is going to be basically 1 coat of paint already. And we got a whole nother coat to do. So 325. Well, it's a little bit less, 25 less than 2 gallons, right? A gallon, a second whole gallon. But 90 90 for 90 square feet for a court. So let's look at that 90 for a little bit here, okay? So if we were to look at 325, right? 325 is a lot bigger, so it's greater than 90, right? 90 feet squared. Well, okay, so let's double this, right? So that's not good enough. We would need more than one. So 90 plus 90 is 180. Our 325 is still a lot bigger than that 180, right? So no, honestly, guys, I think the cheapest way, the most efficient, is if we get a whole nother gallon. So 1 gallon. So for this other 325, I would get 1. Nope, 1 So how many gallons of paint do we need to buy total? Your last bit right here. 2 gallons. Sorry, guys. Got a tickle in my throat. Okay. Okay. If you guys have questions about this, as you're going through or after you finished it, you're still confused, please make sure you reach out. If you finish this, as you should have, we just literally did the whole thing. I said I wasn't going to do that. I did. Okay. You need to take a photo of it and submit it to me in Google. All right. Remember, this is more than 1 point, more than 3 points for homework. So I highly suggest you do this assignment. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns.